Hello. Welcome to the rebranding reveal. I'm so excited to bring all of this to you. Finally, it has been such a long time coming. This has been such a beautiful experience. And honestly, I don't really have notes for today. If you've been a part of Road to Millions, that has been my behind the scenes masterclass that has led us from my journey of building from $0 to $1 million. And so most of you have been a part of Road to Millions. It is free. You can catch all of the replays in the link in my bio. And for a lot of you, you're jumping in on this last call number 4, and that is wrapping up our Road to Millions journey. Some of you are jumping in and you haven't heard of Road to Millions, or you don't know what I've been running, and just jumping in for the rebrand, which is perfect as well. So the Road to Millions has been a journey from growing my business from when I started, honestly, when I started my platform like over a decade ago on YouTube and Instagram as a young teen single mom, building my platform, building out my influence, all the way to starting my business in 2020 when I got let go, and building to 6 figures and multi-6 figures, and now $1 million. And so that has been the entire journey. It'll also be uploaded on the podcast, which is getting its own rebranding, and the website. So I'm really excited to be here. Thank you for joining me, and let's dive into it. So I want to share a little bit about how this came to be. I want to talk about how this reveal of the rebrand, I want to start it with how it really dropped in for me and what this means. So I told the entire story. Road to Millions all the way up until this point has been lots of ups and downs, lots of trial and error, a lot of falling on my face and getting back up again and doing that over and over and over and over. And I tell endless amounts of different stories of failed launches and clients leaving and reinventing myself at every single point in my business, right? And so again, you can absolutely go in, rewatch those replays. So where we left off was building my business up to $1 million. I had gotten rid of I released my signature offer at this point. I was expanding my product suite and my business was scaling, right? And where I was right here in this moment was I was starting to deepen into my work. I had been a business mentor for quite some time now. I had been teaching the energetics and strategy and blending it in my own unique way. And I felt that there was a deepening that needed to come through. I felt like there was something more that needed to be experienced through my work and my artistry. So many of you know that I am very much an open channel. I am very intuitive. This is something that came through for me, I would say, in like 2020. And I really started to deepen into my spiritual gifts. So I got certified in Reiki. I was teaching and learning about manifestation for quite some time. And this past year, that has really expanded into a whole other realm. There are certain things that happened in personal life as well as business where essentially the call was for me to go even deeper than I had, right? So this was really the call of expanded higher consciousness. And what that has really looked like is listening to my higher self and building a direct line and communication between me and her. And when I refer to your higher self, I'm talking about there is this version of you that knows your past, present, and future, that knows everything and knows your highest timeline, okay? So if we think of, if you can visualize like entering a room where you're seeing like all of these different timelines and all of these different experiences of how your life can turn out, right? Like all the different ways, all the different decisions, all of the different pathways, right? It's almost like a highway, okay? So when you're in connection to your higher self, it's essentially like you have all of these routes and all these exits and all these options, because we do, right? And we've got tons of noise from all the gurus and all the mentors and all the people that tell you this is why you're failing and this is why your business is never going to succeed. It's like, oh my goodness. So in the midst of all of that is your higher self. Your higher self is like, hey, come over here. This is what's most optimal for you. Now, that doesn't mean that every single decision and turn and everything that you do works seamlessly. It doesn't mean overnight you're making $1 million, right? But it means that you are trusting a path that is beyond you. You're listening to your intuition versus this is what someone else is doing and it's working well for them. This must be the right way. This must be the correct way of building a business. This is what's right for me. This is what's optimal for me. This is me connecting to my intuition on something as like I was choosing a software platform and payment processor, because I was shifting out of one and into another. And even as something as small as that, I'm like, this is something that I want to test. It's something that I want to check with my higher self, right? And so I ended up one of them, which seemed actually like the better option and the most like accessible option, was a like 20. So I do like out of 1 to 100%. You can do 1 out of 10. It doesn't matter. It could be yes or no. It can be everyone's going to receive messages a little differently. So for me, it was like this one that I was looking at was 20%. There was another one that was like 90%, right? So obviously I'm going to go for the one, like I'm not here to ask questions necessarily. And sometimes I do. But this is the path of surrender, right? Surrender is one of the biggest things for us, I would say, especially as women, but all of us, all humankind, to actually surrender, because it's like, I want to know all the things and I want the safety and I want the reassurance and I want the validation. So this is where we really come into building a relationship with ourselves, our intuition, our higher self. And then my work is very like higher self X spirit of your business. Right? Like I believe your business is alive. I believe it is a spirit. I believe that there is a spiritual entity and component to your business. Like you didn't just one day come up with this idea. Like, yes, you did, but also there is a spirit that chose you, that was like, hey, this is the perfect person. This is the most incredible vessel. This is the human that I choose to bring this work, this purpose, this legacy into the physical 3D realm, because as a spirit, it can't do that on its own, right? I believe that about books. I believe that about movies. I believe that about like everything comes through as a vision and everything chooses us, right? And then it's up to us, like, are we going to bring this to life? Right? Are we going to answer the call? Are we going to answer the call of our heart? And so I believe that everything comes from your heart space, right? Comes from, your body as an entirety, of course, but also your heart is I see it as like the space where you feel, right? It's like the center of, it's like the core of your body where you feel. I feel very much from my heart, but also from my sacral, like my womb area. And when I'm doing like checks and I'm listening from my higher self, I'm listening to an intuitive decision, it's like my sacral rises or it sinks, right? So very much in combination. Again, everyone's body is going to be a little different in terms of how you're responding and what your clair is. So the way that this name dropped in, right, okay, before I share that, I have to say there was a completely different name and a completely different branding that I was actually moving forward with last year. And it takes a huge amount of surrender to, in the middle of that project that was already paid for, it was done, to be like, this is not it. I can't actually launch this. Like, I cannot actually come forward with this name and this branding because it wasn't it. It was like something had come through, and it was more so for, I feel like it was more, looking back, I feel like it was more so for me and my expression and my expansion versus like, this is the company name moving forward. And this is exactly what we're going to be going. This is what we're going with as the overarching name and theme. And so I, again, listened to my intuition and I was like, okay, I feel like we're now back to the drawing board. And so this name that I'm about to share with you all dropped in. And at first, like, I knew that there was going to be, okay, it's so funny how these things download. If any of you get like these very strong downloads, I was talking about this yesterday in Road to Millions or on Tuesday, where sometimes something comes through, but it's not like fully fleshed out. It's like, it's here, but it's not fully here yet. So I knew that part of this name was going to be heart. I just felt it in my body. I kept being drawn back to my heart space in so many different ways. This is something that is such a core theme in my world with my clients, with my work, is heart-centered business. And so I knew that that was going to be a part of the name. And I wasn't sure where I was going from there. I was like playing with a couple of different variations and I was like, you know what? I'm not in a rush. I've been running my business under my name for so long now and it is completely fine. There's no need for immediate, which is also why like this dropped in, I would say like about a year ago, like I think almost a year ago. And I am doing this, like I've really let myself not be rushed in this process. Like there's no rushing. I didn't need it to be like changed on everything in the website and all the things right away. It was actually really beautiful for me to just kind of sit with it. And after the name dropped in, sit with what that actually meant, right? Do you ever have those moments where something comes in and you're not fully sure of what exactly this is going to mean for you? And you kind of let the meaning unravel on its own, right? It's funny, like that's how my tattoos have been, of all things. I'll get something and it doesn't have any meaning when I get it. I just feel drawn to it. And then something will happen. It'll be connected to whatever it is. I have so many different things, like even including this dragon right here. And so many different pieces of what I've gotten. And it's like, oh, that's why I got that. Right? That's why that came through. So the brand name that I am moving forward with, that you will see when I share the website and the podcast and all of the courses and the movement, is going to be under Heart Artistry. So the way that this dropped in for me afterwards was like, okay, this is it. Business is not just business in the sense of following the rules and being in a box and doing what you're told to do. Artistry is when you can create something. I remember when my daughter was in elementary school, I would teach these like art program classes, and we would go through different eras and periods of art history, right? And whenever there was a new era, they weren't planning for it. It wasn't like this was being planned out. It was someone would come out and do something scandalous in the art world, never been done before. And then they would be like, what is that? That's not Impressionism. That's not whatever it is, right? And so artists have continued to create even through like rebellion, like through it being a really big risk. And that is what I see. And that is an archetype I've connected with since I authored and published 2 books in high school. Is I've always seen myself as an artist, as a creator. And throughout the years of running my business, I see my clients as artists. And this is something that the term that I've used a lot, instead of your process, your philosophy, your methodology, your thought leadership. Sometimes I use that too. Is artistry. This is your artistry, right? This is your art. This is what you're creating. I go to a dance studio and the owner, and I take dance classes with her. She's like, this is my art, right? This is literally my art form. And that is what we're doing here as well, right? So this is the alchemization and the expression from the inside out of your art, of your purpose through the heart space, okay? And why that's so important is because your artistry isn't just like, it is what comes to you, but it's not just what comes to you. It's what comes to you that you have worked through your own inner challenges, AKA lessons, that you are bringing out into the world. So when you see the logo, which I can actually pull it up and share, or flip the screen. But while I'm doing that, I was also very particular about how I wanted this logo to look. I wanted it to be a physical expression and manifestation of this process of like inwards, you're doing that work, you're transcending, and then you're magnifying out into the world, into the conscious collective, into the clients and the community and the people that you are here to serve, right? This is not just you doing what you feel like should be done, but it's actually a connection, like a deep soul connection, a deep heart connection to your work. So I'll share the screen and I'm going to show you what this logo looks like. Okay, so here we go. Yes, and then on Zoom I'll also share it as well. But this is the official logo. So here we have heart artistry. This is sacred geometry. And you can actually see how the heart is like magnifying. It's almost like pulsating, which when we get to the name of my membership, I'm going to explain like what that looks like and why I chose that name. So this represents higher consciousness, right? So you're downloading from the higher realms. And then this is your heart, right? And it's not just your heart. It's also magnifying out into the world, which is funny because like the incredible designer, her name is Amida, who created this. I knew that I wanted it to be a really beautiful expression of this work, although I didn't have an exact, this is the podcast new cover, by the way. I knew that I wanted it to look a specific, I knew I wanted it to be a heart. I knew I wanted it to be minimal, but I wasn't exactly sure what that was going to look like. And so I kind of just let her run with it in a way. And I let her, create. So here on Zoom, for the recording, you can also see that here as well. So what I did was I chose to work with someone who was extremely conscious and really understood how our logo and our designs and our graphic work expresses a story, right? It calls people in. It is an energetic language in its own, right? And if you know sacred geometry, then you also understand that as well. But yes, I'm really excited about it. I love the gold foiling, and then you can go and see the website. I can give you a little sneak peek here, but it's gonna be, yes, love how the lines continue into each other for the hearts. Exactly. Yes, that's really cool. We love sacred geometry. Love how you share the logo. Or we can't see it. Yes, beautiful. Thank you, Madeline. So I'll share with you really quickly just what the website looks like right now. So here we have the new logo up here. And then here's this hero photo of me. What if your business wasn't just a business, but the legacy of your heart? And then here's the new podcast cover, which has already been uploaded on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. And we've got a couple different pages here. You can link to Magic Mind. You can go to the podcast. I have an entire testimonials page from my clients' stories and what they've created, which is really beautiful. So that's all at tiffanychung.co. It's still the same link. So you can go and check that out and just read through it, flip through it as you feel called to. So thank you all for being on and just really receiving and sharing. And I know there's a lot of you that are going to be tuning into either this replay or from Road to Millions. And this is really like the culmination of this journey that has really led us to this point of the rebrand and also what this really means. So I want to share a little bit more about the like multi-layered meanings of how this really came through for me. So many of you know that Cantonese is my first language, and I still speak it fluently. It's the only language that my grandma speaks. And so in Cantonese, when you say the word happy, it directly translates to open heart. So it's not like there isn't one, like Cantonese, Chinese, in general has like their words are characters, right? So there's no, like, it's not like the alphabet. It's literally like different characters. So in Cantonese, the direct translation to English for the word happy is open heart. It's hoi sam, right? Hoi is open, sam is heart. And then when you say I'm sad, it literally directly translates to hurting heart. Sam tong, right? Sam is heart, like I mentioned. Tong is pain. It's hurting. So and then it's really beautiful because whenever I see my grandma, she's like, she comes up to me and she'll be like, "Hoi hoi sama," and that means, "Are you happy?" And in English, that translates to, "Is your heart open?" And that, I feel like, is such a beautiful alchemization of this work, because how many times have we hit these rock bottom moments where we want our heart to harden and close and become cold? And in fact, a lot of the world wants us to go through life with a cold, hardened heart, right? Because you're safer in some ways. You aren't feeling as much. It's like, well, if I choose not to feel, then I won't get hurt. And if I disconnect emotionally, then I'm protected. But that's not actually the experience of life that we came here, that we chose to reincarnate in this lifetime to experience, right? It's learning to go through life with an open heart, not close it, with boundaries, with standards, and also knowing who you are, right? Knowing that you have the ability to go through some of the most painful, which is also why inside Road to Millions leading up to this rebrand, I wanted to share my story. I wanted to share the experience of that version of me that I'm not anymore, but I was at 19. I was a young single mom. I was struggling and barely surviving, both emotionally, physically, financially, right? I was leaving an abusive relationship. I was living off of food stamps. Like, if anyone looked at me at that time, they would have been like, yeah, she's not going anywhere great, right? So I allowed myself to let these lessons keep my heart open again and again and again and again. And I allowed myself to alchemize that into what I now see as heart artistry, right? Every single one of us, every single one of my clients has a story, has a rock bottom moment, has a moment where things shifted. I work with humans who reinvent themselves. So that means you have been given some type of challenge, you've experienced some type of life obstacle, right? You've gone through something that's brought you to your knees, and in the darkest moment, you didn't let your heart fully close. You chose to turn it into something else. You've done the work through your internal world. You've shifted your own internal world, and now you're expressing and sharing that with everybody else. That from the very start, when I started on YouTube in 2015, I was like 20 years old. And my first videos were how to be a happy, healthy single mom. And I was just in the beginning of just starting therapy, just starting my healing journey. And I knew that at that point, even if I could help one other person and make someone feel less alone, I was willing to do it, even though I was barely there myself. And we've come a long way since then, right? But I knew that if I was changing my own inner landscape and my reality was starting to shift because of it, I wanted to bring this into the world. I wanted other people to experience this too. That is heart artistry. That is what it means to be a heart artist. That is what it means to listen to your heart, to keep it open, to process, to experience the extent of the human experience. We're here to cry and grieve and fall down and support each other and get back up and figure out who we can be in the face of fear and loss and sadness, and create a different world, a landscape where we're raising the vibration of the conscious collective, right? And what that means is we're building a world where people get to have their own sovereignty and they get to live a life that is free, where they get to listen to their intuition, where they get to be led by their soul's greatest desires and their purpose, right? That is what it means to be a heart artist. That's what it means. It's like showing up even after the most challenging thing has ever happened. Like we're not humans that need self-leadership, and we're not leaders who need self-leadership when everything's going really well. It's like you don't tap into your wealth of knowledge of personal development when things are going well, right? It's like you almost like push it away when things aren't going well, but it's in those moments when you actually choose to drop in and listen and keep your heart open. So artists, also what we do is like, have you ever seen someone take material, whether it's like any kind of material, whether it's like, it could be someone's trash, right? And I know this firsthand because my daughter is the most crafty person I've ever met. She literally has this shoe. Oh my gosh. Okay. Actually, I'm going to show you guys. I'm going to go and get it because it's in her room. So she took this shoebox, and it was literally just a shoebox that I tossed off to the side, probably meant to throw it out and recycle it. And I come back and she has created her own claw machine. Okay. I didn't even plan to show this, but like, she's very proud of it. So she made this claw machine. She also made a section to put in money, and she also made a credit card, right? She put in a slot where this card fits perfectly. So you push it in, and there's actually a space where it can fall. So it falls right into here, and then you get to decide. You get to order something from the claw machine, and then whatever it is you order, whether it is crochet, it's a drawing, it's a snack, she has all these different things. She drops them in here where you then pull it out and pick it up. And these are like plastic bowls that we grabbed from Whole Foods. This is a shoebox, okay? So I want to show you this example because this is exactly what I'm talking about. Like, she took something that was literally trash and she created something beautiful from it. That is what we do as heart artists. That is what we do inside this space through our leadership, through our stories. That's why I'm saying from the inside out into the world, right? And that's why this is so important, because when you identify yourself as an artist, there is no blueprint for something like this. There is no blueprint for your legacy. There is no blueprint for the movement that you're here to build. There is no tutorial on YouTube to create something like this because she was meant to create it. And this is just one of many, many, many things that we have scattered all around the house that she has just created and built with her own hands. Like this is like a little bracelet that she made for me. It's like starting to fade in color. But like what we get to do in our businesses is just like this. Right? Can we take what we have been given? Can we take a lesson that brought us to our knees? Can we take our rock bottom moments, right? Just like I was sharing inside Road to Millions, where anyone could have looked at my life and been like, she's not going anywhere, right? She was successful and had written 2 books. And now like I heard the things that people said. I heard the chatter, a lot of it from my own like people who were close to me, right? But it's like I chose to take that moment and actually be grateful that I was on my own, that I was faced with myself as a mom at 19 years old, learning how to become a mom, struggling with postpartum depression, and learning how to alchemize my magic, which I wouldn't have called it at the time, but really that's what it was, my magic into the world through my heart. And we can only do that if our hearts stay open. We can only do that if we are listening to our purpose, if we're deeply connected, right? So one of the biggest things inside heart artistry, inside this brand, and inside where it's deepening is discernment. It's really thinking about your thinking. It is self-leadership, thought leadership, your own unique artistry, building your own unique world and movement. You are here to create something that has never been created before. You are here not to listen, not just to think, oh, my coach is doing this, so I should do that too. One of my colleagues who's also in the same industry as me is doing this, so I better be doing that too. Oh, this is trendy. I see tons of people hopping on that I better get on it as well. But to actually stop, pause, do not let yourself be rushed, drop in, open and develop this connection with your higher self. Open and build this relationship to your intuition. Open and receive from the spirit of your business. The leaders that burn out are the ones that don't know that they have support that they can call on. The leaders that outgrow their work and don't continuously reinvent, you're supposed to reinvent yourself. Your feed isn't supposed to look the same year after year. The work that you're doing is not supposed to stay exactly the same. Like, yes, there's going to be core things that are our magic and our purpose. And a lot of that's going to stay the same, but you get to reinvent yourself over and over and over. At any moment, you get to choose to be a different version of yourself. And at every single moment, you have a decision to do what's trendy, to do what you feel like is correct, to do what other people are doing, or you have the option of listening to guidance from your higher self. Being guided by the higher realms, calling in that support from higher consciousness, from your higher self, from the spirit of your business. These are the entities that are here to support you in your business. You are co-creating with them. Okay, so inside this world, what we're creating is everything is filtered through the heart space. Your leadership is filtered through the heart space. Right? You allow yourself to feel, you allow yourself to go through the entire extent of the human condition, the human experience, right? This is you allowing yourself to deeply feel, to deeply have a pulse on what you're creating and building it from the inside out, from yourself into the world. So as a natural response, I created this broadcast membership called the chamber. The heart has 4 chambers. Okay, they do different things to make sure that your heart is pumping, that you're getting oxygen, that blood flow is working. The heart has 4 chambers, and I'm going to play with that inside this space inside the chamber. So if you're inside, you'll get to hear what I'm doing with the four like the synchronicity, which is really beautiful because I have just been seeing 444. Today is the 4th. Actually, I didn't even realize that until right now. It's about to be 10:44 over here. It's been really, really incredible. So this is my brand new membership space. This has been a really long time coming. This is not another course. It is not another program. This is going to be an ongoing staple inside my product suite. So this is a space, if you can think of it, like we are sitting, it's like if you have like, it's, well, there's a couple different vibes because there's different types of trainings that are going into this space. But overall, it's like a very sacred space where we're all sitting together and we're all connecting, right? And I see it as a charging portal. Like if you see the image for it, which here, maybe I can pull it up and show you. So this is the image for the chamber. And this is the image of the portal that I desired. This is a broadcast membership for heart-centered CEOs, for the visionary leaders to explode your wealth, your power through the lens of higher consciousness. So what we're doing inside this space is it is very much a charging portal. It is where you come in, you get fueled, and then you go and take massive action. This is a place where you come, you get what you need, and you go, okay? This is a space where you are accessing, if you can think of, like, this is how I'm building it, is like, I sat down and I was like, what are the core best of the best things, strategy, energetics, mindset, behind the scenes of my own business? What do people need to know in order to build a successful, profitable business in alignment as a heart-centered leader? What do people need? So that's why I broke the trainings into 3 different types. Number 1 are the strategic step-by-step trainings that you can drop in, listen, take notes, implement, go and see results right away. I essentially want you to, like, if you don't know, like, let's say you're plugging in on a Monday morning and you're like, okay, what can I do this week? Like, let me just get so fired up. Like, let me go in and let me get exactly what I need from this space. And sometimes that's going to be an activation because that's one of the trainings, but sometimes it's going to be like, boom, boom, boom. This is what you can do. These are trainings that are like what I would do if I wanted to sign a one-on-one client this week, what to post on my stories if I want to make a sale today. If I wanted to fill up my entire group program in the next launch, this is exactly how I would do this launch, right? It'll be like, if I wanted to make a sale for someone that was like on the fence, closing the gap between people that are kind of lukewarm into someone that is fucking hot, like hot, ready to go, take my money, I'm ready, right? Like, that is something that I have mastered in my business. I've never sent a single cold DM. I do not run ads. I don't do any sales calls. My clients, and I pretty much only sell on my stories. Like, I don't really even post to my feed. Like, there are periods where I'll go through and I'll post to my feed, but most of the time I post on my stories, right? I sell on my stories. I close in the DMs. My clients, every single one of them that come in to my world, they're reaching out to me. How have I created this? Messaging mastery, sales mastery. I know exactly how to articulate my content and my messaging so that my best clients come out and they're ready. They're in. I had someone come on one of my lives when I was launching my mastermind, and she found me like literally a little bit before that. She was in, paid $13,000 in full within like the next 2 days. and someone just joined the mastermind on 8/8 actually. She was like, yep, I'm ready to go, $15,000. Like, I am here. Like, I am here for it. And I'm ready. Like, I am ready. I just talked to someone else who's like, yes, I'm ready to join the mastermind. Like, these are people that are seeing my messaging. They're seeing how I'm showing up, and they're like, yep, I'm in. Let's go. That is what I've created inside my world. I don't run sales calls. I don't go back and forth in the DMs. So most of the time, the people who jump in, we don't even have a conversation. And sometimes the first message they send is, I'm in, send me the link. Like, we have no prior messages inside our DM thread. My people know what they want, and they move like that. So that is what I'm teaching, is the best of the best strategies. And then this is the next part that's going to loop into this, is my activations and my riffs. If you've been a part of my world, like, this whole thing is a riff. I have like barely any notes I'm referring to today. And if you've been a part of my world, you'll know when I start channeling, you've been a part of my riffs. If you've been in any of my Telegram events, like, you know how powerful those are. This is the way that I receive and express. This is my best form of delivery, other than like coaching and mentorship. This is my best form of delivery. So the chamber, this membership, is going to give you access to all the strategic trainings, all of my riffs and activations. You'll also be able to request riffs and trainings as well. So both a riff and something strategic. So the activations and riffs are very like, my higher self is connecting to your higher self and bringing something out. These are conversations that I'm having with my higher level clients inside the mastermind. This is something that dropped in the morning. This is something that I've been working through. This is like the kick in the pants, motivation on fucking fire that you need to go and take action in your business, remind you who you are, and be brought back to your higher self. Because everything that we're doing here, everything is bringing you back to yourself. This is not another membership where I'm just going to feed you tons and tons of trainings for you to go and take action on while you're disconnected to yourself. That's not why I'm building this, okay? I'm building this membership so that you can build such a strong relationship with your truest self, with your higher self, to build the legacy and the movement that you're here to build in alignment to you. Not the way I did it, not the way someone else is doing it, not the way that you see online. This is for you to be so connected to your heart space, your purpose. And then when you are here to go and take that massive action, you want to implement that strategy. Any strategy works when you're in alignment. Okay. And sometimes we just need that mentor that's like, okay, here's how you post the stories, use this call to action. And then inside the DMs, this is what you do. Like, sometimes you just need that, like, boom, 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 step by step, go and make that sale. Like, when you're plugged in and you are already in that powerful identity, you know who you are, you're being brought back to your truest self. And here I'm also offering you the best of the best sales strategies, messaging strategies that I've used to build my business to over $1 million in 5 years, not using any sales calls, not using any ads, mostly using Instagram stories, and then clients coming to me in the DMs. Like, this is what is going to shift everything for you. So you're not only going to be charged up and be in that state where you're fully activated, you're ready to go, you're ready to take action. But when you're ready to take action, here you've got these strategies that you can go and enact in your business, on your stories, in your sales, social media, messaging, magnetism, and see results right away. That is essentially what I want to happen inside the space. Come in, get what you need, go and take action. Come in, get fired up, get activated, go and take a big risk in your business. Come in, get activated, get fueled, get a strategy, go and make sales. That's what I want inside the chamber. It's almost like a jumping off point and an activation portal at the same time. You come in, you receive, you take the step-by-step action, right? You go and you make it happen in your business. You go and make sales. You go and attract your aligned clients. You go and post your stories. You show up on social media, right? These are the best of the best of the best. And for the first time, I'm actually going to be looping in social media strategy and trainings, which is not really something I've created a program around. But now that there's going to be a space where I'm going to just be dropping trainings like multiple times a week on a weekly basis, like I'm going to have the space to really pour it in and be like, hey, this is actually what's working really well for the algorithm. There's certain things that I do that I actually have not shared anywhere about how I post on my stories, the intention, like how I make sure it gets sent out to all my people. I started as a social media coach, so I have tons of this strategy in my back pocket. So being inside the chamber is also like having your own strategies. My coaching, this is like the closest you're going to get to my close proximity coaching. If you're not ready for the mastermind yet, you get this at literally a fraction of the cost. Like it's a no-brainer. It's actually crazy. So this is the chamber. I'm so excited to open it. It has been such an incredible journey building it in the back end, and honestly keeping all of this, it's like, oh, I like get to exhale. I told my mastermind yesterday because we were talking about it and they were like so excited. I was like, I feel like I'm gonna have this huge exhale after I just share all of this, because I've literally been keeping it in for so long with intent and purpose, obviously, but now I'm like, it's out, it's here, the brand is here, you all know about it now. And the chamber is here, my membership is here. So the chamber is $25.55 if you're paying in full. There's a 4-month payment plan. And there are some fucking incredible bonuses that I am offering for those of you that are jumping in. The second one, I'm going to go into the first one and then the second one. But the second one, I've never offered something like this. And I think it's actually insane. Like you're getting it for free, and everyone who's already inside the chamber, of course, you get access to this. But it's actually insane. Like the value of this and what you get it actually doesn't actually make any sense at all. On top of the fact that the chamber is $25.55, it's a 6-month commitment. You get access to the best of the best trainings, strategy, activations. The third type of training I'm also going to share are behind the scenes of my business. Okay. And what I mean by that, this is really important because this is something that we don't talk about enough and we don't see enough of this. All right. And this is really, really important. And I believe that this is like some of the most impactful, pieces of me building my own business. So when we see someone's business, we're not always seeing what are the decisions they're making in the back end. What is the identity that they're building in the back end that we're not privy to, right? Like, and we're not always going to see those things because we don't have to share that online. Like we don't have to share all the ins and outs of what we're navigating behind the scenes. But when you are in this space, like this is a membership where I am taking you behind the scenes of my big decisions, how I am making, a lot of it is decision focused, especially as we're talking in the realm of higher consciousness, right? We're talking about making decisions from a place of guidance and optimalness from your highest timeline, right? You're not just making decisions for the sake of making decisions. You're making decisions because this is actually what's right for you. So when we see other people's businesses, we see their marketing, we see their messaging, we see their huge celebrations and wins, right? We're not always seeing what's happening when you pull the curtain back. So this is one of the things I'm going to be sharing inside the chamber, is actually sharing behind the scenes, not just in my business, in my personal life, family, co-parenting with my daughter, like the decisions and the identity in which I'm showing up that I'm not going to be sharing publicly. You're not going to see this on my stories. You're not going to see this anywhere else. Like it's not going to be, I'm not going to share it anywhere else. Like it's just literally going to be exclusive to the people inside the chamber. And that's because you are actually deciding to be inside a space where you are building your business. Like this is truly a sacred sanctuary. Okay. So inside the sanctuary, inside the space where it is very inner circle vibes, like very comfy, cozy vibes, like that's what we're doing inside this space. So if you'd like the link to read about the chamber, to jump inside the chamber, DM me the word chamber. I will send you all the information. If you're ready to jump in, let me know. I will send you the link. An email is gonna go out later today if you're on my list. So you're going to get access to jumping inside the chamber. The last thing I wanna share before we go into those bonuses, those 2 bonuses, is the chamber also gives you access to literally all of my micro programs and masterclasses. So not only do you get access to all of the trainings so the trainings are going to live inside Telegram. They're going to be popped into Telegram. You're going to be able to join the Telegram portal. That's where all my trainings are going to be recorded and shared. So you will get those multiple times a week, okay? And then on top of that, you will get access to any masterclass or micro program that I am running. And you get already an entire vault, an entire library of all of the past masterclasses and past micro programs. So just to give you a sneak peek as to what you get access to inside the chamber, you get access to Align Client Playground, which is all about client attraction and energetics, the truth frequency, which is connecting to your own truth, the truest self of who you are, the Offer Oracle, which is my entire program on building out a whole new offer in alignment, Magnetizing 1M, this is all about energetics, quantum leaping, and 10xing your business. The Pleasure Room, which is about orgasmic manifestation, building your business through pleasure, like a pleasure-led business. $1 Million Messaging is all about messaging social media content to convert clients. Divine Manifestation, this is my signature manifestation program that teaches you exactly how to manifest what you want to manifest, what kind of manifestation, what kind of manifester you are. Stacking Sales is how to create stacking monthly recurring revenue in your business. The Tri-Witch Tournament is a fun ode to Harry Potter. It is also my program on power, identity, magnetism, and magic, which is so much fun through the lens of Harry Potter and the Tri-Witch Tournament, or the Tri-Wizard Tournament. Overflow, creating wealth overflow in your business. Your worldwide movement is building a movement instead of just building a business. So building an actual global movement. Cash Pile Content is my program on content. There's actually going to be another one coming into the chamber in the fall. But this is on writing content that makes your clients go, take my money. Multi-six Sales Magic. This is one of my favorite ones. This is multi-six sales, multi-six-figure sales, energetics of sales, sales mastery, and then Move Fast Mastermind, which is a mastermind that I ran on moving fast in your business, making decisions fast, and the energetics of what that looks like, that was really powerful. So there's actually like 4 or 5 more that you get access to, including all of the ones that are to come. These are incredible programs. And the way that I am shifting my business is, instead of like big courses that are launching every so often, I'm actually going to be creating more micro programs that are dialed in on very specific themes. So the next 2 that are coming inside the chamber, one of them is going to be on messaging, articulating your messaging so that you speak to your best clients and they move right away as soon as they see your messaging, as soon as they see your copy and content, because they know that you are speaking directly to them. The types of clients that you attract into your programs are from your messaging directly. The second program that I'm going to be teaching live inside the chamber is selling on stories and closing in the DMs. This is my exact story and DM strategy. So this one's going to be very strategy focused. I'm also going to be talking about energetics. I'm going to be talking a little bit about the Instagram algorithm, specifically the story algorithm, because that's mainly where I sell. It's mainly where I've made my $1 million from. Like the chunk, like the biggest majority chunk has come from selling on my stories, closing clients in the DMs without sales calls, without a back and forth conversation. So that's all coming, including all of these programs that I just showed you inside the chamber, right? So you get access to all of that, including all of my live masterclasses, micro programs, and that's in addition to the Telegram portal where I'm dropping these weekly multiple times a week trainings, strategic trainings, my activations and riffs behind the scenes of my business, which honestly is going to be one of the most valuable things that you get access to. I cannot stress enough, I'm going to go into the bonuses in just a second. I cannot stress enough that one of the most important things that we do is the way that we build our business behind the scenes, and the decisions and the identity that we are meant to create, right? Like, there is a way that you are designed to build your business that is optimal and unique to you. Period. And we get very distracted. I know there's a lot of noise on social media. I know everyone's a guru. Everyone's a mentor. You are taught lots of formulas. You're taught to think in the way that someone else has thought instead of tapping into your own magic. Okay. I know it. I see it. It's all over. My intention with the chamber, this brand new membership, is you building a relationship with your truest self, with the spirit of your business through higher consciousness. So that means your higher self that knows past, present, and future, that knows your highest timeline, that knows the most abundant, wealthy, happy, optimal version of you and the best decisions for you. She is the one that you are building your business with in relationship with your spirit of your business. Okay? Not just this coach on the internet told me to do this thing, and if I don't do it, my business is going to fail, and my launches are all going to be $0 launches if I don't do this thing, if I don't enact that strategy. That's not what we're here to do. You are here to build a legacy. You are here to build a movement. And in fact, we're always doing that. But is it one that is actually from your heart space? Is it actually one that is connected to your purpose? Is it actually one that is being guided by your higher self? Or is it just, this is trendy, that's what someone else is doing, well, someone's doing that, and it seems like it's working for them, so maybe it'll work for me. It's like that level of safety that we want to find in other people, or in a mentor, or in a colleague that's doing something similar. We're actually able to source that from within ourselves. I know it feels safe to follow what other people are doing, especially online. I know that there is so much content out there, okay? But this membership, this is where you are brought back to yourself. This is where you are brought back to your truest self. I am dropping trainings after trainings after trainings, and they're gonna be very bite-sized. So I see myself dropping definitely on a weekly basis. Most of the time it's going to be multiple times a week, like 10-minute trainings, right? Sometimes they'll go over. Sometimes I need to go into a longer kind of expansion, but you can 2x the speed. You can drop in, get whatever you need, go and take action, right? So like I mentioned, there's going to be the strategy. There's going to be the activations. There's going to be the behind the scenes. When you come in, you get fired up, you know who you are, you come back to your identity, you're in alignment with what you're creating, what you're doing, and then you get to plug into the strategy that's like, this is what I would do if I wanted to sign a one-on-one client, right? This is what I would do if I wanted to fill up my group program. This is what I would do if I had a group program that was 5 people, but I wanted to fill it up and close it up at 10, right? This is exactly what I would share. This is what I would do. This is my strategy. Building in the back end. If I want to stack monthly recurring revenue that's over 5 figures every single month, this is exactly what I would do, and this is what I would think about in my product suite, and this is what I would think about in my sales, right? This is if I wanted to build up my reserves, build up my business savings and stack money in my business savings and make sure that I'm still selling on the front end at the same time. This is what I would do, and here's how I would focus on it. Here's how I would focus on pay in full, and here's how I would attract a pay in full over a payment plan, which is more monthly recurring revenue, right? So these are conversations about business, finances, money, wealth, sales, magnetism, identity, essentially every conversation you need to build a successful, powerful business that is led from the heart space. So that's the chamber. It is a 6-month commitment. As soon as you jump in, you get access to you get access for 6 months. Okay. So send me a DM. Okay, Instagram just gave me a notification that they're closing me up after a minute. So, okay, let me see if I can get through the bonuses really quick. But if not, send me a DM and I will DM you the bonuses. So the first one is if you jump in before Saturday, you get a one-on-one channeled Telegram session with me. And if you jump in within the first week, you get access to a wealth mini mind that I am running in September that allows back and forth mentorship and close proximity with me to remove anything from your field that is blocking wealth coming in, holding it, receiving it, attracting it. We're going to be talking about wealth. We're going to be talking about sales. We're going to be talking about identity. We're doing an entire 1 week mastermind. If you jump into the chamber within a week, you get access to that wealth mini mind. Okay. I love you. Send me a DM with the word chamber. I'll break down the bonuses. I'll send you the link and we can have a conversation about it. Thank you so much for being on, and I will talk to you soon.